Tom, it's great to have you leading the partner sales team now. But of course, even though this is a new role, you're not new to the business, are you?
No, absolutely not. I think, Paul, you interviewed me back in November 2006.
I remember it well.
So, yeah, straight out of university, my first sort of proper job. And I was really bought in just as kind of a sales executive, trying to generate leads for the rest of the sales team, which was largely focused around our Host Talk products, as well as the data centre that we owned in Derby.
And I love that journey sort of thing. You know, for me, as a growing business, it's always really great that we can see our people, our good people, progress within the business kind of thing, rather than always having to go out and recruit externally. And sometimes we'll do that, but the preference is if we've got people rising up. And I suppose this is when the reason why, when we're looking for someone to take on, you know, leading the partner market side of things, it was a really great option that, you know, you were there, you understood the business, and could move into that. But I suppose before you were this role, you were always involved in some sort of engagement with our partners.
Yeah, I've had a lot of exposure to them. My kind of early success when I started taking on accounts, probably sort of a year and a half into the role, was largely through partners. Yeah. And it's really good to see that some of those partners are still with us today. Some guys starting their own business, might have been, you know, 2 or 3 of them with a quarter rack, and have now got 6 or 7 racks throughout data center estate, with their own cloud platforms and things like that. So it's great to see that kind of evolution. And then even some of the accounts that had in the early days that have gone on to either be sold themselves and then have actually been acquired back into Node4. So it's really good story, and it's something I've really enjoyed working with the partner markets.
Yeah, and congratulations then on the new role and the progress that you've shown. And for us as a business, I mean, I know full well that working with partners has always been a real focus for us. It's always been a significant part of what we want to do. In fact, you know, we love working with partners, being their technology partner, if you like. And even though, you know, sometimes we do sell direct, and, you know, that's been raised as a little bit of a concern at moments, you know, I can probably count on one hand where we've come up in a competitive situation with a partner, and like everything we try to do, we just deal with that in an open way and talk to the partner, and whoever's sort of in the best position, we mutually agree to go forward. But like I say, in the 16 or so years I've been here, probably 5 times that you have been in that. So it's never caused, on the face of it, you know, I know some people think it might be a little bit of a conflict, but in reality, it never is. And actually, we're really focused and helping drive demand for our partners. So I suppose now you're in this new role and you've got all this experience of behind you, I've seen it from different angles. What are the sort of, you know, the main objectives that you're looking to achieve?
Well, I think first and foremost, working with our partners, as you say, we do have a commercial team, and it's then all about that level of trust that we build with them. And I think our approach, no matter if it was partner or direct, is always to be a trusted provider and help their business grow, understand their needs and challenges, and then really provide solutions to help overcome those challenges. And I think one thing that's really important is we understand our partners and what their strengths are, or what their niches are, what their level of expertise is, and in what areas, and then how we actually complement those areas. Yeah. And there are a lot of our partners that, if you looked on the face of it, we compete in certain areas. So that's the bit that we kind of would step back from, but we understand their strength and actually where's the bits that we can slot in, complement their offering, which hopefully that for them creates further revenue streams, gets them stickier customers and happier customers. So that then through that success, we share that success and we all grow together.
Yeah, and I suppose a byproduct of us selling sometimes directly means we do have the understanding of the end user, and our whole solutions portfolio is built with the end user in mind, and that's what we're taking to partners. And if we can impart knowledge and help them to be successful in that, then of course that is a win-win situation, which is the ideal for everyone. What are some of the things then that, or some of the ways that we can help a partner be successful?
I think it starts with the partner engagement. And as I said before, it's really understanding their business, but also understanding their end users and the sectors that they're in, and taking some of that knowledge, as you say, from some of our commercial teams and saying, well, okay, we can see that this partner in that this customer in that sector is having certain challenges, and this is how we overcame it. And then talking to our partners and relaying that information through to them, so that they can continue to sort of grow and take that experience from us.
So now you're in this role, I guess there's two things that we're going to be thinking about. One is, how do we enable and empower the existing partners that we've got to do more? And secondly, we might want to recruit some new partners to join us. And so as looking at those two individually, you know, if there's a new partner, you know, how would they, you know, how would we engage with them initially?
So for us, it's something that we're looking at the moment, is kind of mapping out the partner journey. And we're almost looking at it like it's a funnel where you've got new prospects at the top and our fully engaged, happy partners at the bottom. And so with recruiting new partners, it's all around the actual messaging of, well, who is Node4? Why would you want to work with Node4? And what are the advantages of that? And it's not really product focused around the portfolio, which is, you know, it's quite broad and appealing to a lot of partners, but it's them also understanding that who we are as a business, what we stand for, what the culture is, and really we talk about ESAS, exceptional services as standard, and actually how through us what's the word, exuding ESAS, how that can then filter through and make their partners happier.
Great. And the second part of the question, I suppose, about how we're going to help the existing partners grow.
Yeah, so it's vitally important that we're engaged with those partners, and how we help that growth is really what we can offer around training. So internally with our own sales work ramp through the Node4 Academy, can we replicate something like that for our partners? I think that's really interesting. And then also around alignment of various teams, from sort of customer services, service delivery managers, right the way through to then peer-to-peer marketing contacts. So our guys can help with their marketing initiatives, help set up events for them, or even, you know, come and use our facilities to host their own events, bring their own customers, or technology days where we can provide sort of guest speakers, some of our experts internally, to go and talk about some of the hot topics such as SD-WAN or cloud transformation.
Yeah, and I suppose on that thought, really, you know, we've obviously, some of these partners, like you said right at the start, have worked with us for years and years, and like they've grown, we've also grown. So although we'd like to think the core way in which we want to work with people and the way we deliver service, and you talked about ESAS, is still the same and consistent, we have more resource available to us to support those partners in their journey. I suppose one of the other things that's kind of grown is through our journey is technology itself. You know, we started back in the day, you mentioned Host Talk, delivering hosted telephony, and all, you know, we're still doing a lot of collaboration work. The data centers are still a part, but I suppose where we're at now, are you seeing particular things with some of our partners, particular technologies that seem to be more, you know, prevalent really in the discussions with them?
Yeah, I think it's largely led by sort of the end users, but we're very much seeing that transformation or journey from particularly on-prem or within the data center to actually, well, let's look at the workloads, let's look at the applications that are being run, and where do those workloads actually sit best? Yeah. Is that on an IaaS platform? Is it in the hyperscaler clouds, be it AWS or Azure? And I think what we've done really well is we're able to take partners and their end users on that journey, whichever direction they want to go, and support them throughout that cycle. So yeah, very much the cloud sort of transformation projects are very, very hot topics at the moment.
Yeah, and I suppose with certain things going on, more drive to a remote working, that kind of thing, and SD-WAN technology lends itself to that, as well as some of those things like Windows Virtual Desktop, and all part of that cloud solution. I think that for me has always been our great strength that we can help enable partners with, is that we've got this broad technology understanding to plug in the gaps, like you said, to what they're already doing. So
yeah, absolutely. And we obviously, with what's happened around the globe, I think has really brought to the fore home working. Then that begs the question of around, well, not only connectivity but security. I mean, I think we've already seen a hell of a lot of cases of hackers trying to use this broader attack spectrum of home workers to be able to get into organisations and either maliciously take data and things like that. So yeah, I think with the whole secure SD-WAN piece is a big part, and certainly going to be a big part of what we do with partners over the next sort of 18 months, three years and beyond, really. And what we're really trying to do at the moment is, it is a buzzword out there, but we've actually had a lot of success with it. We're delivering these services and solutions. So now actually what we need to do is almost demystify the buzzword and start really educating our partners and letting them know that we've got a really strong offering that they can lean on and deliver to their end users.
Yeah. Great. Well, I mean, congratulations, I suppose I should say, on the new role. And we are doing since you started, we're starting doing this monthly partner newsletter, which people can obviously subscribe to. Now you're in this role, I suppose, what are the top 3 things that you're looking to achieve in the next sort of 12 months?
I think it's important that we remain really close to our partners. Obviously, we've gone through some very strange and difficult times at the moment, and I think that the partners who we work very closely with will remember that as we try and get back to some sort of normalcy. So it really is understanding, being close to them and understanding their business and how we can actually help them, not only from a technology perspective, but all the other stuff around sort of training and education and market insight. I think it's really important. So that'll be one. Again, products and our solutions, technology and expertise is really important. We've never stood still as a business. We've never just, I suppose, swam in a single lane. We're very much got our listening to what's going on in the marketplace and then trying to pivot to what the demand is. And thirdly, just making sure that we can help our partners succeed, because ultimately our success will come through their success. And that's not only around the products and the services and us sort of taking that leadership role in the technologies, but it's also around the marketing approach, how we can help with running campaigns for them, events, things like that. And ultimately, we just want to be engaged with our partners so that they can grow their revenue streams, have happier, stickier customers, because then we'll benefit from that.
Yeah. Well, look, great that you're in the role now. Really looking forward to seeing you continue the success that you've had in your career to date with Node4 and really taking that into the partner market side of things. And I'm genuinely really excited about seeing our partners continue to develop and grow with us, and us seeing more success and more great stories in that area. So yeah, very much looking forward to the next steps in the future.